children of God, you cannot basically give up on God. Because see, God is counting on you to read his word and obey his commandments. Giving up on God is throwing your hands up, starting to trust in man. Giving up on God, many people doing it now because, like the Bible says, in that time, iniquity should abound, the love of men is wax cold. This is put in divine records that this will happen. See, God knew this a long time ago, but by the games people playing, it has gotten more serious. See, people was giving up years ago, but now the hour was late. The hour was late, and people truly giving up. The Bible said they would take heed. They would give heed to doctrines of demons. Cause see, people, the deception so strong that people falling in it. They you people look at people so strong, but yet that person they're looking at is weak. God knew this. This is why He put in the Bible over and over again. Come to me, because He knew people was going to turn away from Him. Yeah, it's gonna shaky. Life gonna get shaky because the devil's influence. Jesus said before He left, the ruler of this world is coming, and He have no part in Him. And people say, the devil rule of the world. He was talking about this fleshly world, this matrix, these businesses, corporations, principality, which is in Ephesians chapter 6, principality mean government. See, God made sure everything was in divine record. When people are saying that God's not here, God, well, you haven't read the Bible. The Bible made it plain. He made it plain. Follow me. But see what y'all have done, what most people have done, they have followed they follow man. See, the devil want to be God, so he used man and try to mock God, how God used men to do his will, like he did the men of the old in the Bible, the prophets Jeremiah, Nahum. Uh these people uh God used John the Baptist, uh Malachi, these people, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, James, John the Baptist. God used these people, so the devil try to use people in a time now, put them in power and positions to try to mock God and and bring people on his side and make it seem like he winning and people are giving in. But see, it seemed like he winning because when people feel like they turn over to the devil's side, they feel like, oh, I'm going far now. I'm going far now. But yet, when they happen, they embrace the devil and they don't know the game they're playing. Cause see, God, the devil don't have the power God has. God has keys healing death. God determines if you die or not man. I have a friend that's a scrub nurse. He just hand the tools to the doctor doing surgeries. He said they'll tell you in the doctors that they're God. They say they keep humans alive. They run people's lives. They above. They atheists. They'll tell you they atheists. They will tell you that they are atheists. But see, people still trust in them. So which means you trust in them, that means you don't trust in God. You can't trust God because you trust in man and the devil working through these people, man. So you put your trust in man, which means you excluding God. God, people turn away from God in alarming numbers right now. Like I, I, I look at the situation now because once you awake and you have the spirit of God in you, you can discern these things. You say, wait a minute, this person said they in God, but why they so terrified? Of course, yeah, we human beings, you gonna have a little fear and uh. But thing is, if you truly in God, then your faith and hope is in God. But everything happen, you run to the man, then your God knows you don't trust him. In the book of Nahum, chapter 1, it said, God knows those who trust in him. And he's a stronghold in a day of trouble. You don't know how you got through it. It was God. But the weak break immediately, totally give up, blow their brains out, trust the man, get all, you know, um, distant from God, turn it back on God, and talk about how God not with them. You have not read the Bible. You usually listen to these preachers talking in churches. You have to read the Bible for yourself. Cause a lot of them, they what sound good is bringing flocks of people. They can checks all type of ways. It's ran like a business, like it not like it ran back then. They turn away from God. A lot of these preachers have turned away from God. But they preaching like they have not, and they doing wrong in the pulpit and not even feeling bad, which means their conscience been seared with the hot iron, like the disciples were talking about in the New Testament. See, it's, they say many conscience seared with a hot iron. They in the pulpit doing wrong. A lot of them got relationships outside the pulpit and do not feel bad about it. How are they in God when it's like that? That's why I say if you love me, God said if you love me, you obey my commandments. If you love me, God says basically, you are for me. You have not turned from me, you are for me. That's if you love me. So people turn away from God because it's getting hard now. Why? Because they're deceived, they're tricked, they programmed, they believe the lie. You turn away from God, you was greatly influenced by Satan. You have to get all in God. Then you can see, not just somebody where I go to church. No, 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 no. If you just saying that, you're gonna turn away yourself because you can't see the true benefit of being deeply in God. You can't reap the benefit of being truth. Well, you can't fail because so much word in you that you can't be shaken. It said in Proverbs that those who trust in the Lord are like Mount Zion. They cannot be shaken but endure forever. People are people say, how's that person making it? How are they doing so good and so much happened to them? God. Those are true ones. The ones who weren't weak from the start. The ones who didn't give a knee to the enemy of God. People turn away from God. Many for money, many because they don't trust in God. A lot of them are afraid to lose their jobs. Many turn away from God. The disbelief in people now. You see in the end too, see many say they believe in God but deny the power. That's what's happening. So I say, yeah, I believe in God, but then turn around and trust in man. I believe in God, then turn around and go get prescriptions and stuff. People don't know in Revelation pharma uh uh what's that pharmakia uh pharmakia in Revelation, it really means pharmacy. We translated pharmacy with sorcery. Sorcery in Revelation, pharmakia is really sorcery. Pharmacy, see how they go together? See, this what you would know when you have discernment. God shows you the truth, the lies that have been told. You turn away from 'em, you can't. If you halfway, you gonna turn away because uh God said if you lukewarm, you spit your ass mouth. The Bible said he know those that's in him. People turn away from him. And some people decide to do it on purpose. They say, well, I'm turning away because I can get a bigger check if I do this right here or whatever. They didn't make excuses why they didn't did. God saw what you did, what decisions you made. And he knew a long time ago who was gonna be for him and who wasn't. They had the opportunity, but he knew they were gonna choose different. They sat there and did they sat there and changed their own mind. I'm just gonna do this. Well, if I take this form right here, I'm gonna get some huge checks. They turn around, it's about money. Would proclaim God at one point. It's like you were not real in God from the start. I seen many missionaries preach and teach and speak in tongues, run around church and everything. Then sell out to God. I mean, sell out to the enemy. Turn over to the enemy. Many turn away from God. It's a lot of reasons, but many turn away from God. So what you're doing is you're helping the evil. You're helping the evil because all the evil is just reaching the heavens. The more evil come out, the more you turn, the more people turn to God, the more so Satan wins. Satan wins, and you helping the kingdom of darkness. So they turn away from God, and they turn away from God. It's like they believe the lie. Because when you turn from God, God knew you. He knew your heart turning from Him. He knew it when you did it. Because God knows everything. He knows you haven't changed your heart. Many people have the fruit of the Spirit described in Galatians chapter 5. God knows. He knows who's him and not who. He knows who's going to turn from him. He knows it. Don't turn from God. That's what the enemy wants. People falling. That's the main thing I'm saying. People turn from God, falling right into the enemy's hands, and then will try to justify it. They'll see all kind of things going on, and they'll justify why they did what they did. Uh, well, God, well, I need this and that right there, or whatever they'll say. But if they didn't do it, God would have sustained him anyway. He would have kept them anyway if they would not have turned from God. But they wanted to, what I'm saying, because the situation at hand, they just basically just sold out from God to the enemy. They try to still talk about God, but God know what you did. There ain't no justification in it trying to prove to people you still in God, trying to prove to them. No, God know you turned against him. You can talk all day, but he knows in your heart that you turning from him. And many people turning from him every day. Some of them because of troubles. But people don't turn from God. Don't turn away from God. The road rocky, yeah. It's gonna get like this. As the end come more and more, the road gonna be rocky. Rough, but we say those who trust him. A lot of Mount Zion cannot be shaken and do forever. And the prophet Nahum says he's a stronghold in their trouble. He said he knows those who trust in him. He knows those who rely on him. God knows those who rely on him. Don't turn away from God. Uh, Read the Bible, so um, uh, follow the commandments. Get the Spirit of God in you, and then you will know you will be too far from God that it will hurt for you to even think about turning away from God. You will say I can't do that. I won't for nobody. Like and subscribe. Thanks for listening.